What's happening, good people? Welcome back. Welcome back. Yes, y'all. It's your main man, Andy Brown, your life coach and host, the author, getting it down right here on the Online Happy Hour. About to have a wonderful, great show today. I hope you had a great and wonderful and fantastic weekend. I had a great one. Shout out to my folks in the greater Kansas City area, my folks in the DF Dub, my peoples in the NOYA, and of course, my folks in Miami, Florida, chiming in, checking us out. This is the Online Happy Hour. It's your man, Andy Brown, putting it down. And I'm excited, man. I know this is going to be a great broadcast. Shout out to all my folks who are getting prepared for the wonderful Thanksgiving holiday coming up in just a few hours. You got the beans, the greens, potatoes, tomatoes, the turkey, the chicken, the ham. Folks is about to get full, man. They're about to get fat, about to gain some weight, spend some time with some loved ones, spend some time away from people, getting around people you haven't seen in a while, and probably getting away from some people you just really need to get away from time to time. But it happens like that. I mean, we're winding down the end of what has been one of the most confusing years I have ever been a part of in my life of living, and I know that some people have experienced some highs and lows here in this COVID-19 atmosphere. It's been an election year, so we just don't know what's happening, but I definitely welcome some change. Tina says she ain't gaining no weight. There's going to be some folks that's going to put on some pounds, man. They're plucking that turkey and lots of potassium, and just going to be sitting around. Not too much football, not too much sports, but it's going to be quite a few couches that are going to get that work this weekend, probably starting right now. Folks are on vacation, but it's going to be a good one, man. It's going to be a good time for some people, but for some others, not so well. And we'll discuss that. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. If you've been here before and took some time away, shame on you. You know good and well that we rock the joint each and every Tuesday and Thursday right here on this platform and getting it in from 7 to 8:30 Central Standard Time, living vicariously through you. And if you missed Thursday's show for any reason, that's a shame. We went live. I was joined by Miss Agape Love, and if you missed that show, go back to the YouTube page, chime in and subscribe. Subscribe to the page, man. iLife Radio is where it is. You can see the stream here. It's on my Facebook page. It's on the Facebook group, and be able to follow me in multiple mediums where you can see the name Andy Brown Speaks. The life coach is talking. Your good friend is talking, the confidant, and I'm getting down, man. I'm enjoying my life. But not everybody can do that. And we're going to talk about that today. So as we dive in, be sure to embrace change, pour you a drink, sit back, get ready. The Online Happy Hour is about to begin. But before we do, let me go ahead and put the disclaimer out there because it has to happen that way. The thoughts and ideas displayed today on the Online Happy Hour do not reflect those who created this platform. But what it does reflect are those who are on this broadcast, on this platform, and chiming in, willing to talk about how they feel about this particular topic. And the topic that we're discussing today, it's here. It's called self-love for the holidays. Yes, I meant that and I said that. How to stay safe in this season. So be prepared, be ready to dive in, talk about this. If you want to call in and you paid your phone bill, hit your boy up, man, 847-47-iLife. That's 847-474-5433. Again, 847-474-5433. That's the call-in number to speak on this. Of course, the chat room is always welcome for comments. I'm going to be reading from some comments over there, and that is where it really goes down, man. So get secure, get safe. Let's talk about this. Self-love for the holidays. And what exactly do I mean by that? Well, 'tis the season, man. It's here. We're talking the holiday season, which is usually a fun time, you know? People putting up trees and making desserts and cakes and pies and goodies and wrapping up a long, hard work year, putting some things together. They're getting ready to see family over the river, through the woods, going to grandma's house, and, you know, spending time with their children and their cousins. My grand fam is getting ready to, for the Bayou Classic weekend, which would normally take place this weekend. However, there's been some dynamic changes with COVID that have, kind of hindered quite a bit of that. So, going to visit people is not going to be what's happening nowadays. Of course, going to the Bayou Classic, going to, visit folks and take, mini vacations. Our economy isn't moving that direction right now. And even though that people want to get out and move around and do some things and have some fun, there are some people out there who just don't operate in that same energy. They're in a space of sadness and depression and loss and taking the opportunity of quarantining, but masking and hiding behind that quarantine in a bit of depression. This is that time of year where they may not be able to go visit grandma or granddad or the family because those loved ones have either passed on or lived too far away for them to visit. And let's just be honest with it, man. Some folks just don't have their money together, to visit the other side of town, let alone go visit over the river and through the woods. So it's different. It's different for different people. And we see this in different ways, but before we can actually, reach out and want to be around others, we have to be able to be comfortable with self. And what that self-love is something that says, I got to take care of me and I can take care of me. Hey, Deb, how you doing? Welcome back. Glad that you're a part of this. My good friend, Deb Diller down there in Galveston, Texas. I know she's seen quite a bit of change in that area as well, especially with the weather as it is. But also looking at the fact that there are people who just aren't traveling, man. They just, they're the quarantine. There's have people on shutdown. COVID-19. They said nope, can't do it. The mask. I mean, we know what the culture is and what everybody's doing. So it's hard not to pay attention to these things. And a lot of folks are hiding behind this. They're sitting back in a bit of loneliness. They've got some anxiety going on. They're looking at these deals and these Black Friday deals, and they're like, man, I can't afford that. But their money isn't where they want it to be, and it's just a situation to where they got to have some self-love, and we're going to talk about that. So chime in and hit your boy up. Let me know what's going on with you. If not, I can hold the ship down. It's all good, man, but I definitely want to hear from you because I'm speaking to you and speaking to myself as well. So don't take this as, this is a life coach, but he thinks he's a know-it-all. Absolutely not. There are some situations that I'm going through, and I'm going to talk, not only to you, but to myself about some of these things because it's necessary. It has to be some time for some self-love, man, for the holiday season. What I want to know is throughout this whole process, when is the right time to put this freaking tree up? We got people who I've seen folks putting up decorative, Christmas trees. I'm going to call them Christmas trees because that's usually when they actually show face around Christmas. You got folks that put trees up back in October, right before Halloween. And now you got folks putting trees up now and taking them out of the attic and taking them out of the basement and going out and buying new Christmas trees when we haven't even had a festive Thanksgiving dinner. So, yeah, the trees. So, a lot of stress is going on. We're trying to put too much money back into the economy when the economy hasn't given you that money. So you're in a world of chaos right now, right? You need to get out of that, but that's okay. There's ways to change that. We'll talk about that as the show continues on. But I want to be able to address some of these things and talk about, a lot of self-reflection that needs to happen, right? There has to be a level of balance because here's that time for the holidays. You want to be bliss and happy and excited and moving forward and seeing a new year approaching and the change and, all the good holiday music and films that are going to be on all these streaming networks. But, what are you doing for yourself right now? Right? How does all this stuff really make you feel? You gotta be able to embrace that because what happens is when you don't do it, Man, people slide off into this little world where everything feels negative. You got the bah humbug fucking spirit going on, and you claim that I don't really want to be bothered with all that. Well, you do. Yes, you do. You want to be out there. You want to be, looking fly and being cute and being out amongst the crowds and seeing things like this, but you don't know how to necessarily handle that when you have a level of depression and anxiety, and you're not really cooperating in that same spirit. So you don't move that way, right? You don't step into that era or that aura or that zone because it's not a place where you feel as if you're going to become, you want to be, but you're not quite sure how to get there. Of course, you want to smell all the cakes and all the pies and taste all the food and be around the atmosphere and have somebody love on you and give you a gift. And oh my God, it's been so long, I haven't seen you, hugs, and all the good feelings that goes along with the holiday spirit. How do I know this? Because you engage in the movies and the films and the feel good, rom-coms and all that kind of shit, because that is where you want to be. You want to embrace that feeling, but you're hiding behind the blankets of life and you're tucked away and all that other stuff that you just can't put your mind around, because why? You're missing somebody that made you feel that way, or you want to be around somebody to love on, but they squeezing on somebody else's ass and it ain't comfortable for you to see that. So now you done jumped into your home place of just depression. And the shit is real, right? It's mental health issues and people are struggling with this. But look, you got to get your shit together. And I'm going to say a little bit harsh because the rub down feel good stuff doesn't always work. Okay. You have to be able to it's not a bad thing now. It's not a bad thing. But what it is you got to be able to change your mind, right? Self included. We got to be able to change our mind because we're moving too fast and trying to do too much around others and for others that we're not taking the time to get that self-love for the holidays. So what do you do? We're going to talk about how these changes have to come into play. So what do? First thing you're going to do is you're going to have a little sip. And I'm going to break this shit down so it makes sense to everybody, okay? Whether you're 18 years old or 85 years old, we're going to get this thing tonight so that somebody, wakes up tomorrow, the day before Thanksgiving, and is in a better mood than they really anticipated. So go ahead and start to share this link. Say, man, I want you to watch this shit. My homeboy on this little channel. You can throw your the littles out there right now. It's all right. It's all good with me. My homeboy out there on this channel, he's doing something. I want you to just check out what he has to say. Somebody needs to hear what's about to be put down right here. Right? Share the link a little bit later, but it's nothing like getting it good and live. So hold on one second. I got good time. First of all, what you don't want to do is put yourself in a situation to where you're making unrealistic expectations. All right? Give yourself some self-love, man. Give yourself credit. If you put yourself in a situation to where you're kind of running all over the place and you're not exceeding your own expectations, you're going to cause yourself your own goddamn stress. That ain't cool, right? You're asking to be on medication. You're asking your body to overwork itself. You're asking your mind to be totally fucking stressed out because you're putting yourself on a clock that doesn't fucking exist. And that's not fair to you and all these other items that you're putting an expectation on, right? Well, you got to go to the store and you got to get this, but you got to cook all these pies and all these cakes for tomorrow, right? So you're causing yourself all this stress to go to the store at the last minute because, one, you're not making a list. You're not checking it twice. Yeah, put it in there like that. You're not taking the time to just slow down and calm down about what's really going on and embrace the essence of the holiday season, right? First of all, man, take some time when you wake up in the morning, man, just before you put your feet on the ground, drink your nice glass of water, right? All that toxic shit that was in your body, all that bullshit you ate the night before, the chips, the burgers, the sandwiches, the barbecue, whatever the fuck you had last night, let all that shit go and come out. Have some self-love, man. Get yourself in a position to where you have to take and I'm going to be honest with you, man. You got to receive this real shit. No pun intended, but you have to go in the, get out of your system, get out of your body. A lot of people aren't having enough bowel movements because one, you're not drinking enough water, your body is not right. You think it's, you're not cute if you're on the toilet taking a shit. Oh, man, let it go, right? Flush that shit out your body, man, so you can be right and feel a little bit lighter and have a little bit more energy moving around, right? One thing that I tell anybody out there when it deals with ladies, and men won't say this to you publicly, I don't know why they don't, but something that is very unattractive about a woman is a woman who slides her fucking feet, right? She sounds like she's half roller skating everywhere she goes because she can't quite seem to pick the heel of her foot up when she's walking. That, ma'am, sir, is totally freaking unattractive because you may not recognize it because you're not giving yourself the self-love. You're not really walking with your head up. What it is your energy isn't where it needs to be. So if you can't pick your own feet up off the ground, yeah. So clean yourself out, man. Take some time to just kind of get it all out. You're operating, a lot of people operate in fatigue. You hear them always say, man, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Well, why are you tired? I don't know, man. I'm just tired. Well, you're not doing anything for your body. You got to have some self-love for these holidays, man, because everything that's drained you already, you have to have something put back into your system. That energy is never stops moving. So if you got a position where you're telling yourself, I'm tired, I can't really move, I don't know what's going on, man, I'm just tired. Well, look at what you put into your body, right? Huh? You eating any fruits and vegetables, all this turkey and dressing and yams and shit you're trying to put into your body? How many salads? How many pieces of fruit? How many real undercooked vegetables are we posting that says you're going to make your body feel good? Everything is drained and sitting in grease, fucking shiny ass food. Come on, man. Be better for yourself than that. The meat is shiny, the vegetables are shiny, the fruits is freaking soaking in oil, everything looking like, a shiny ass Jerry curl on the table. That's not good, healthy eating. It's not. You don't have to do that all the time. I mean, I get it's tradition. It's kind of the same stuff you were raised on, and that's cool. Don't take anything away from it. But if you are in a position where you are taking any kind of medication before you eat, that kind of freaking food ain't for you, man. And I don't care what tradition says. You have to have some energy about yourself to move around and go do stuff. You're lethargic when you're shopping. You're fatigued. You're forgetting the things that you want to go to in the store because your mind ain't right. Get your body together. Have some self-love for not only for yourself today, but even while you're going into this holiday season and you're wrapping up something new. You have to be able to do that, and don't put so much pressure on yourself that you're making and creating unrealistic expectations. I said it. Somebody said yams are vegetables. Yes, yams are vegetables. They are vegetables. But you don't have to eat that shit all shiny and smothered in butter and oil and sugar. Eat the yam as it is. If it's a sweet potato, it doesn't have to be marinated in a freaking gravy of syrup. That's unnecessary, man. It really is. So think about it. Think about it. Everything you eat is shiny, right? You're looking like you're chewing fucking licorice every day. That ain't cool. It's just in a bed of preservatives that's just holding it down until you come back and eat it the next day or the next day. Think about this. Those same sweet potatoes and those yams that you put in the refrigerator, do they look the same when you eat them as leftovers? That thick ass wad of butter has frozen up. And right, there are healthy ways to prepare them. And that is something that we need to do. We need to learn how to prepare food differently. You don't have to dish that shit in butter and sugar and syrup all the time. Bake the yams. Have it a different way. I was making cabbage steaks the other day. I don't have to boil cabbage and put a whole fucking pig foot in a pot of cabbage to enjoy it. I can bake them as it is. Sprinkle a little garlic powder on them, not garlic salt, but garlic powder on there, a little paprika, a little light salt and pepper, and enjoy a fresh cabbage baked to perfection. It's okay to have it differently. You're absolutely right. Moderation and portion control. Here's one thing that we notice when we talk about fatigue, and trust me, and by no means am I downplaying the holiday, right? This isn't something that we're saying we're downplaying, but we have to have a way to improve the way that we're eating. So if we're quarantining, right? We're coming into a situation where some people aren't going to have a lot of folks over. You're not going to have 8 or 9 different people around the table. So you don't have to make a meal to feed 9, 10, 11 folks. And I know that there is a pleasure in cooking, and people cook with love that know how to cook. Let's get that understood, because there's some folks in there that burn some fucking cereal, and they just don't know how to quite get it right. So you have to be able to understand that you don't have to cook all this freaking food, just because you've got unrealistic expectations of folks are going to be over and eating, and that's just what you're used to. Nah. If you don't have a 13 or 14 pound tom that you're going to put in the oven, and it's just going to be you and maybe somebody else, do some Cornish hens, man. Bring it. If you got to have the bird, make it some personal Cornish hens, because I was talking to some folks today, and nobody really wants to have this big ass carcass of a bird hanging out in the refrigerator, dipped and wrapped in foil until Sunday and Monday, and coming into December, with 2/3 of a bird still hanging around. You don't have to do that. If you're just into turkey and you can get you a small turkey breast for you and your folks that immediately are around you, go ahead and do that. One, it's going to save you some money in the store. And two, what's going to happen is you're going to find yourself having better eating habits, because you're not running back into the kitchen, eating 6 and 7 plates of food. Now, the depression starts to kick in when we have unrealistic expectations. Can I be myself for a minute here? Can I do this? Hold on. Again, this is no hate. Hit some likes, hit some loves, and let's go ahead and talk about this. Because what tends to happen is this, and it's not just about seeing things happen in the past, but you just notice a pattern. Your favorite football team comes on, right? So people are having Thanksgiving dinner roughly around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right? So you loaded up on calories roughly about the second half of the Detroit Lions football game, right? You loaded up on some extra food, and you're going into plate number 2 by the time the Dallas Cowboys get on. Even if you're not into the football, it's just part of that is the day of football and camaraderie and things of that nature. And you've got the expectation that, yeah, your favorite team is going to win, and go out there and you find yourself doing some excessive eating and drinking because the game isn't going your way. You're not excited about how your team is performing. It ain't working. So you get back into the kitchen and you're nibbling and you're chewing and all this kind of stuff, and it leads to gluttony. It does happen. Now you're full, and here comes game number 3, because the NFL knows people are going to be watching and know they have their audience. And what do? You jump back on into the food again, right? So that's 3, maybe 4 plates that you had. Sit back nibbling on food. So we gotta watch this. Portion control is big. You're absolutely right. Portion control is big, and we're in COVID season, so there may not be a lot of people that are around for this. So we really have to be realistic with the expectations and not have so many, unrealistic expectations that are going on a regular basis to say that I'm going to be cooking for, you know, uh, half the freaking Dallas Cowboys defense. Watch your money. You know, we get too engulfed in talking about self-love for the holidays. If you're just now tuning in, I'm talking about different ways that people, self-included, can make things better. We get too caught up in the over commercialization of shopping, right? It's Black Friday. Spend this, buy this, come get this. Right now, the specials are going to be there. We got folks in here buying televisions, and you've had a television, you've had a TV for years, but now this one's a smart TV, and you got to have the latest, technology and link up with all the stuff else. Man, trust me, I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. But if your money ain't where it needs to be right now, then that television can wait. Those items can wait. Put some cash up, put it to the side. If your money's a little scarce right now, and you're operating in that the unemployment right now, this might not be the best time for you to be making purchases. And you have to be okay with that. I get that's what you used to do when you want to get the deals. And there are people right now that are spending lots and lots of money, lots of time on their phones and on their devices, and they're looking for deals, and they just want to be a part of all the new shopping that's going on. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if this is not your season to purchase and buy, sit that shit out, man. It's okay. It is okay. You don't necessarily have to go out and buy the next gadget, the next shoes, the next outfit, the next electronic device if it's not your season right now, right? If you have to make a decision, and watch this now, let's just be real. If you have to make a decision whether you have to, put something on that bill or put something on that Amazon purchase or that online purchase or that store purchase, then you, sir, ma'am, need to sit that shit out for just one good time. It'll come back around to you. Just like that bill is going to be coming back around to you, put yourself in a better position. Somebody said no one should be purchasing or buying anything in the pandemic. If your money ain't right, you're adding extra pressure, man. Self-love for the holidays, folks. How to stay safe mentally, physically, financially. Stay safe, man, and be thankful, because I think a lot of people miss the point of not necessarily having to be humble, right? Or to sit back and be thankful for what you already have. How did you even know that there was a deal? You watched it on some device, right? You saw it on your phone, you saw it on your television. It got to you some kind of way. So continue to be there. Continue to be in that place. If you're watching from your phone and you think you need a larger television, well, it could be time to go see the eye doctor and get those eyes checked and examined, right? Some of you, and let's just be honest, man, some of you all haven't seen a doctor since the Obama administration. You haven't seen your dentist in quite some time. You haven't had your eyes checked in quite some time. Self-care, man, self-love. Find out something good and do something good for yourself. Because these holidays, man, let me tell you something. If your money isn't right and you're stepping into a season of jingle bells and trees and the image of all these gifts up on the tree that you're quote unquote used to, or either you may had it when you were a child, or you wanted to do this for your baby all their life because that's what you wanted, the kind of Christmas for yourself, and now you're an adult, you want to move into something different, and now you say, well, I can't let nobody have a Christmas. And sit that shit down, man. Just chill. 847-47 Our Life is a calling number. Give me some love if you're there, man. Talk to your boy. If not, I'll keep the thing rolling, man. I love the chat room. I love how we chiming in and tripping out in this. Nikki's watching, Tina's watching, Deb is watching, Tina's watching. Listen, J Rock, McKinfo, Jim is watching, man. So let's talk about this. Let's just be real about self-love for the holidays, shall we? Be real with yourself. Let me sip on something real quick. Be real with yourself. We're seeing so many folks on social media platforms, right? We're seeing the things that we think that they're doing because of the pictures that they post, right? These are allegedly your friends, but you're not making time to be around them. Why? There's a level of depression with the camaraderie that we're not making the time or spending the time or talking to people. You know, we'll click a like here and there. We'll make a comment here and there on the social platforms. But do you ever take your phone, your mobile device that you have all these apps on, and actually call someone and talk to them? You ever say, hey, you know, friend, cousin, family, how you doing? How are things going? Just want to check on you, man. I don't know. It's been a while since we had a conversation. How's my friend? How's my family? How are you all really doing? You know, what's going on in your world? I see the pictures and all, but I haven't had a chance to talk to you specifically. And that changes, what that does, man, is that changes the dynamic of the energy that somebody has, not only about you, but about themselves. Somebody thought enough of me to give me a phone call rather than like my page or like my comment, that it begins to get more personal, right? And that dopamine, that rush that you get from feeling loved, energizes somebody on a whole nother level. I think a lot of us aren't doing that because it's not happening to us. So you tend to push back. Well, that's them. I guess I see y'all doing it big. I guess you want to do it too. You want that same feeling, but it's not, you're not feeling as welcome, right? You're not feeling as if that's something that you could embrace yourself. Latina says this. She says the shit sounds cruel. Don't eat shit. Don't buy shit. Yeah, sit down somewhere. And it's okay. It's okay. It really is okay, folks. Talking about this topic, self-love for the holidays, be real and honest with yourself when we're talking about these things, right? So you have to be in a position, folks, when I tell you this, you got to be in a position to, if you've got somebody's phone number, call them up, you know, and if it's step by step, right? So it may not be something you do on a regular basis. So prepare yourself. I got to see their phone number. Man, I ain't talked to them in I don't know how long. Let me call them up and see how they're doing. Even if I just get a voicemail, I put the effort in to do that. And what that's going to do for you is going to show you that you took that first step, right? You said, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to reach out to this person and I'm going to say, how you doing? I'm going to be the first one to do that. So you can pat yourself on the chest because you took the initiative to do something. And that in itself is going to make you feel good, right? It's going to give you a small rush. Hey, man, you know what? I did something. I reached out. Whether they picked up or not, whether they made time to answer or not, whether they were busy doing whatever it is they may be doing, I made the time to reach out and call. You know, and if they couldn't talk to me, then that's on them. But I did that, and it may feel good enough for you to reach out and call somebody else. You know, I'm guilty of that myself. Hey, man, how you doing? Well, I you know, did you want anything? Did you need anything? No, actually, no. I just had your phone number in my phone, and I figured, shit, why not give you a call? How you been? You'd be surprised, man, at how many people just. My mother even said this. I just wanted to hear your voice. So, again, we're talking self-love for the holidays. You know, it's time and time again we look over and people get in positions to where that they don't have a loved one to talk to, right? They're seeing their friends either pass away or move on in situations and relationships where that relationship isn't the same anymore, and you don't have that same connection as you once did. So what you tend to do is back away altogether, and you recluse yourself to where I don't really want to be in that space anymore. So it causes more depression. It causes more anxiety, right? It causes a bit of loneliness. And that's an emotion. We have ways to control that, but we have to be okay with one, recognizing it, and two, accepting that we do have the power to change how we feel about that situation. So what are you saying, man? I can't be depressed. I can't be sad. Not saying that at all. What I am saying is, even though you may be in that situation, it doesn't have to remain an emotion that you live in, right? We're talking self-love for the holidays. You got to feel good about you. Even in the efforts, and if that person moved on and you had a friend that was very close to you and the relationship didn't work out, that they probably moved on to somebody else, or your friendship ran its course and you're no longer as close as you used to be, or they may have moved, somewhere across the United States or even the world for that matter, and you just don't have the same connection anymore. That energy is gone from that relationship, but that doesn't mean you have to stay there and live there. There are people who are lost a loved one, whether it was a parent, a sibling, a child, a close friend, or cousin, whatever it may be. Allow those good memories and trust and do believe that everybody does mourn differently. And so for the holiday season, this could be tough because this may be the first Thanksgiving and holiday season that you've gone without that loved one, or it could be the 31st. Even still, understand the relationship that you had with that person, and live in the joy of knowing that you had the pleasure of having them and to be a part of your life, and embrace it. Hey man, you know what? I had a great relationship with this person, and I'm thankful for the relationship that I had with him, and I'm going to celebrate that. Even if they're not here, I want to be able to carry on positive vibes and hold the good energy that we had in the time that we did have together. And even if all the memories weren't good, you still were fortunate enough to have that person on your mind at this time, so they mean something to you. Don't put yourself in a situation to where you're overly stressing, because that self-love is necessary for you to continue moving forward. So we add a little more pressure to ourselves than necessary during this time. And again, everybody's going to be different in how they handle this and respond, but you're going to have to be okay with who you are, and the relationship that you have or had, and knowing that, hey, this is where I am, this is where we got, and what I want to do. So again, pace yourself. Don't jump out there and, hey, you know what? Okay, well, he said, I got to get over it. I'm not saying that at all. Not saying that at all. Pace yourself. Take your time, but put the effort in. It all goes back to effort, folks. You got to make some energy to do things a little bit differently. And mind you, this COVID is playing a major factor in that. So listen, this may not be the time where we're going to be around a whole lot of people anyway. Self-love, man. Self-love for the holidays is taking care of yourself. Deb says this here. Let's go ahead and put this out there so she can see this. That's why I video my walks on the beach. Brighten up another person's day. If they click on the video, get a person that may not be near the beach but want them to embrace or appreciate that moment. That is so true. That is so true, man. Self-love for the holidays. And listen, even if you're not by the beach, if you're watching that and you see that, and that mental vision comes to you and you can envision yourself there as well, to take advantage of that thought process. Oh, I wish I could be there. And if I was there, I'd feel this way, and I'd operate in this way, and I'd carry myself this way. Move in that. Trust me, folks, it is okay. It is perfectly fine that we have to find self-love for the holidays, right? You have to be good to yourself and for yourself if you're going to be good for anybody else. It's wonderful. We're talking about getting in front of family members as well, man. We have to do this. We got to reach out and we got to say, hey, man, something's got to change. And I want to embrace change, and I want to do something a little bit differently than what I'm doing now, because where I'm going, where I'm getting, I might not be getting there the way I need to, right? So again, changing your diet with what's going on with the food tomorrow, and not tomorrow, but Thursday. I won't be doing a show on Thursday for Thanksgiving, but you can always go back and play this show again for your family members and your friends. If you subscribe to the channel at iLife Radio, you can go ahead and come to my page, my Facebook page, go to the Facebook group, the Online Happy Hour, and chime in as well. Keep the party going. This doesn't have to stop just here. That's the wonderful thing about technology and the world that we live in now, that we don't necessarily have to live in this moment per se to say, man, I missed that. Oh, I was busy. I couldn't make it, or I just didn't feel like fucking with y'all that night. Well, either way, it's still going to be here, and the opportunities to grow and to learn. Listen, that's what the Online Happy Hour is about, man. There's an opportunity to sit back, have a couple drinks, sit back, be 100. You're going to be educated. You're going to hear something that you haven't heard before. And you may also hear some things that you have heard, but also in a different way that could open up your minds and the way that you receive certain information. So, yeah, that's what we do. 847-47, iLife is the call-in number. Again, 847-474-5433 is the number to chime in and get some of this good game, man. I'm talking about self-love for the holidays. I'm going somewhere with this, man. Stick around. Just be good. What you got to do, man, is you got to protect your energy, right? Everybody's not welcome in your space. And the quarantine is a great way to justify that, right? So, hey, man, look, if I can't really be around certain people because they drain you and you feel as if they leech on you, or they pull energy from you, or they don't really give anything back to you, then hey, perfect time to sit back and say, you know what, we're just doing things small this year. We're not going to really expand on doing anything. It's just going to be, you and maybe one other person. You got to recharge your battery, But before you go into 2021, recharge your own battery. And trust me, this is okay. This is okay for us to do this and take this time to really just say, hey, man, let me woosah some shit, sit back, get some therapeutic exchange, and say, yeah, I can't right now. You don't have to welcome everybody into your space or go into everybody's atmosphere, especially if you know that energy isn't right for you right now. Well, what does that mean exactly, AB? What you talking about? Their energy isn't right. If you got some folks that are around you, right? They drain you. They pull you down. They don't do much of anything in a positive direction, right? They're the same situation they were in, 4 and 5 years ago. They're still stuck in having those same problems. Yeah, come on. That might not be for you right now, because where you're going with your walk in this time and this round, that's not the energy for you. And it has to be accepted, and it has to be okay with you first, and that's self-love. So just because you used to kick it with a certain crowd doesn't mean that door has to be open again if you know without a shadow of a doubt that's not the direction you want to go right now. Or what you see them doing isn't something that you want to participate in, and you do it well, just, they cool. No, not if that's not where you need to be right now. And it's not a negative notch on anybody. Trust me, this is all self-love. Self-love for the holidays. You got to preserve self first. You got to get this thing that's in you taken care of before you can give anything to anybody else. So that's not anything negative on them. The energy where they're sitting in that space just isn't where you need to be right now, and it's perfectly fine. It is okay. It is all right to say, no, nah, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. Sit back again, uh, take your vitamins, move to exercising 20, 30 minutes a day, watching things that make you laugh, read things that are funny or motivational. Sit back and watch a good movie. You're absolutely right. If you have a social media account, chime in. You probably see a few films and things of that nature. If the right algorithms will go there, it'll guide you in that space that you want to go. But you have to be very careful in what you're receiving. So very good information, man. Definitely set those boundaries and folks, really drink that water. You don't know what's in this cup. Could be water, could be something else. But trust, water is happening. It's just the first thing I put down when I wake up in the morning. Got to put down a bottle of water. I got to come fresh. I got to come clean. I got to recharge. So again, the call number 847-47-I-LIFE, 847-474-5433 is the call number to the show. I feel good about this topic. I hope y'all do too. Y'all feeling it today? Is this good? We got about 45 minutes strong up in here, man. So that's just what we do, man. I'm talking. Hit some love, hit some likes, share the page, talk to your people, let them know, hey man, AB's over here spitting some game. He's dropping some insight. We're getting some good stuff from him tonight, and we're gonna just keep the party going. We're talking about self-love for the holidays. Mm-hmm. Not only are you protecting your energy, but you have to allow yourself to enjoy the present moment. We have people sometimes that have so many great memories of things that they used to do, right? Of a life they used to live, and it was so wonderful for them at that time. And they're always telling you about the things that they used to do, that they tend to stifle living in the moment of today. Well, I hear you, man, but man, back in the day, I used to do this. You probably did, and there's nothing wrong with that. But where are we at today with that? What did you learn from that experience? What kind of person did it put you at today moving forward? Did you take that same information, that knowledge, or that feel-good moment to bring you where you are today? Or what did you accomplish, and what are you showing for that? It had to put you in a better situation or a different space to learn something new, right? So whatever you were doing back then, it made you feel good and it made you feel great to want to continue sharing those moments. It has to have a reflection on something that you're doing today. For instance, if you were cooking and you learned a great deal about food, previously, what recipes did you learn that are going to keep you moving and grooving today? If you made a lot of money a long time ago, well, what investments did you learn how to make, and what were you doing when you had the money? Did you flip it right? And can you show me some things that you've accomplished with that? I used to drive this kind of car and this type of vehicle, and I was doing the thing back then. Okay, well, with that in mind, you may or may not have it now, but what did you learn from that? Are you telling me what type of vehicle I should be looking forward to, or how to take care of that thing and maintain it properly? We're growing, people. We have to have some self-love, and we have to be able to not only take care of ourselves, but enjoy this present moment to say, I got it then. This is what I'm doing now with it. And even if I want to make a plan and move forward to the future, what did I learn along the way that got me where I am right now that I can take that same thing and move forward with that? Right? What's going on with that? Somebody had to learn something, a new trade or a new business or a new way of seeing things or a different experience. You got something before that you're still living in that moment. right? Was there a relationship that you went through and everything was so wonderful and bliss that you learned a different way to love someone and you want to continue loving in that different manner that you say, you know what, I got that. I want that same feeling. So I know how to embrace this and I know what things to look for now because if it didn't end well, I'm starting to see similar signs and I know how, if I could do it differently, I would talk to it this way, or it felt good here in this moment, and this is what made it feel so good. I want to continue to do that, but before it got here, I could recognize that feeling, and I want to be sure that I'm seeing the right thing before I continue to move forward and acknowledge it for what I think this is. Right? So I heard that, but here in this moment, this is what I want to see going on, and I want to, if I could, if people say it all the time, if I could do it differently, then if I had the opportunity to do it differently, this is what I would do. So live in this moment and say, this is what I got going on in front of me. I know it was good back here, but now that it's here and it's in my face again, I want to be able to make sure that I understand what this thing really is. Whether I got a new job, back then I was making so much money and I got a position up here where I'm making some money now. Well, it may not be what I used to make then, but what did I do to get to get the dollars that I had then? I got to see that discipline or what kind of things was I investing in or what did I purchase or what kind of life was I living in. If I want to obtain the same lifestyle, what am I doing different now in this situation, in this era? Or if I have a relationship that I used to be in back here, before I even got involved with that person, I started to recognize these signs. And I saw some similar things that are going on. So now that I'm here in this present relationship, this is what I'm starting to embrace. And I want to feel this thing for what it really is. So when I go forward, I don't go back to what hurt me, but I'm recognizing some of those things up front. And I can see myself moving forward. We got to see this, man. Check your diet. I used to be, it used to be, 275 pounds, but now I got it down to, 160. And I'm starting to recognize some behaviors that I had before that, led me to eating this way. Was I depressed? Was I engulfed in gluttony? Or was I just eating way too many sweets? Or what got me there? And what put me in a position to say, well, you know what? I'm starting to see different changes in my body. Could you not see your toes? Or, your big ass just couldn't, get through the door facing forward. You had to go sideways. What was it? See something different in yourself. Now that I'm here with this, before I continue to move forward, I have to recognize something different back there before I can continue that process and that momentum. So have some self-love for the holidays before you can even embrace that, man, and say, look, let me live in this moment and see what this is instead of always coming back to the past and saying a lot of stuff that we used to do. Because what that says is I enjoyed this time in my life and I'm staying here in this space because I'm not even comfortable where I am right now. That I don't even want to be here today because I was more comfortable back here. And I have to be able, before I can get here, I want to continue to enjoy this back here because this felt good. This was comfortable. This was love. This was pleasure. This was feeling good stuff. And before I even get up here, because something happened along this journey that fucked me up, and I don't want to feel that. Stay back here where it's safe. And my mental says I'm okay back here. Come on, man. Get some self-love. Appreciate yourself in the moment that you have today because look, everybody ain't here today. Everybody don't get this moment. So you, sir, ma'am, have to be able to embrace what you have today because what is it? It's another opportunity. So you've been given the chance to do something different. You've been given the chance to do something special, even in this hour. So yes, it's COVID. Yes, I get that, and you can't do certain things. But what you can do is take some time to love on yourself. Got to have a little optimism. See this thing grow. Well, you know what? It wasn't always bad, or as the Baptist church says, trouble don't last always. So what you gonna do? How we gonna make this better? Self-love for the holidays. Listen, man, look, I get you want to get out, right? People want to get out. They want to get around, they want to move around, they want to do all this other stuff, and the season doesn't call for it, right? The weather doesn't call for it. So you're at home alone. You're not really uh, around a lot of other people. You're not really engaging in day-to-day conversation with folks, and you want to see something different. So you've got to have some optimism. And let's just be real about this, man. I'm hold on. I have the right to give you good insight, right? I have the right to give you some real hard motherfucking truth, right? I have the right that if you are making time to be on this platform right now with me, then damn it, I have the right to keep it 100 with you. You deserve that. So we're talking about, are y'all ready for this shit? Can we go ahead and go there? Give me some love, give me some likes. Because now that I know that I'm talking to the grown folks and y'all still here, let's go ahead and hit this shit for what it really is. All right? Let's go there. 847-47 iLife is the call-in number. I'm live each and every Tuesday and Thursday. Not this Thursday because we're talking about Thanksgiving and it's a holiday, and we're going to be doing other things with your life and your lifestyle, so we can sit that one out. And we'll just come back next month, next Tuesday, a week from now, and go ahead and dive off into this. But I want to hear from you all in between that. So look at this for what it is, right? You just heard me say that you're not having much human interaction, right? We got folks working from home. You're by yourself. You're single. You want some love. You want some attention. You need some self-love for the holidays. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing wrong with a little masturbation, man. You got to have some self-love. It's okay to please yourself and to touch yourself and to get something. Listen, if you got to rub one out here and there just to get you through the day, that energy has to be released. And it's okay. It is okay. There's nothing wrong with that, because right now, if there's somebody right here on this platform that knows somebody that's backed up, that's tight in the middle, and can't get that shit out because they're sitting back waiting on a relationship that ain't even happening for them, right? You're not making yourself available. You're quarantined. You're at home. You don't have human contact. You're living in a bit of depression. You don't feel comfortable being around other people. 1, because of COVID. 2, because of your own personal fears. 3, because you don't know who's really going to see you for who you are, right? So it's very, very difficult for you, sir, ma'am, to not only share love, but receive love. So we're talking self-love for the holidays. Yeah, so give yourself some love. Go on and touch something important. Feel something firm. Do what you have to do, man. Go ahead and rub one out. Stroke yourself. And listen, it's okay, right? Well, how do I go about doing that, man? What you talking about, man? Now you tripping. I'm not tripping. I'm being 1,000% honest with you and 100% real with you with who you are right now, right? You say that you have needs and you have desires and you have wants. Well, your body wants to feel that, right? Your body wants to know what that's like. So your partner that you don't have, or the partner that you desire, may not know that about, and you may not know that about yourself either. But until you give yourself some self-love, who's going to know? Right? How are you going to find this out? If you got your little KY jelly, touch yourself, ladies. If you need to pull one out, fellas, you got to go ahead and do it. No dry scraping, anything of that nature. But what is recommended is, having, read some erotica, right? You're home by yourself and nobody's there but you. Read some erotica books. Watch some videos. Right under. Listen, this is. It's not just you when you think this is private. Listen, in the algorithms of Alexa, um, and this is the internet is what it is. It's a moneymaker. So you got your search engines are at the top, followed by porn, followed by streaming networks. So people know what you're doing, right? I'm not saying that they know it because they're watching you, but this is how people get here. There's no other way in this world that you can show up as a human being rather than having sexual intercourse. And if you're not having sexual intercourse, you can damn show practice. So you can we can look at the fact that we have erotica to read. You've got videos you can watch, right? You've got sexting, sex text messages. If you're somebody that gets off on pictures and images, uh, and you want to have a little target practice, lady, you can sit back and open your legs up and see if you can squirt right on him on the picture. Do what you gotta do. It's all good because that is your body, that is your release, that is your self-love for the holidays. Nobody's there to call you a ho ho ho. Nobody's there to call you, and say that you're doing, nasty and you're doing awkward shit. And hey, this is your body. How do you know what self-love is if you're not loving yourself? Did I say that? Did you hear that though? That's what's important. I want you to make sure that y'all understand this shit. This is 100, man. This is real. So Tina says, hey, it's COVID safe loving. Touch yourself and make sure that you got this together, man. It's okay. If you need to feel yourself first before anybody else does, right? You know that your hands have been washed. You know that your hands have been put in the sanitizer and that you're safe. That's the best safe sex it is. So give yourself the satisfaction in knowing that I need to have some self-love before the holidays come in. I need to know that this is your feel good. So some of y'all are taking this in between calls at work. Some people are doing this in the privacy, before you start your day. Some of y'all gonna do this tonight when you get off the show or even lay your head down tonight, and it's okay. It's self-love, man. Sit back, legs open, TV antenna, and shoot one across the room. It is okay because that is the privacy of your space and your world. While you were in your quarantine, while you were in your space, you can go right ahead and do that. No judgment, none whatsoever. If what you need is not available in the flesh, I'm pretty sure that there are some toys and some opportunities and things that you can purchase. Or if you can't use your own personal imagination, there are some books of erotica that you can read. There are quite a few videos that you can watch. There could be somebody that you feel safe texting and talking to. Push that shit on out, man. Self-love for the holidays. It's listen, I don't know where else you can go and keep it 100 and keep it real with anybody else, if not yourself, right? You got to have a level of balance. So for the person that is out there and is living in a bit of depression, can't feel right amongst themselves, love yourself. Love on yourself. Use your hands and hold yourself. Uh, you know, try and shoot for the moon if you can. Just whatever it takes. You know your body, right? You know who you are. You know what it takes. She said lustful lunch breaks. Yeah, if you need that, you know what I'm saying? You got 60 good minutes of unbothered time off the clock that they are paying you for anyway. So, hey, what you do? It's okay, man. It's quite all right because I think that people must be okay with themselves before you can welcome anybody else into your space, right? Self-love for the holidays. And too often you have people that say, well, I don't really know someone, or they give you a gift and they don't really know who you are. Well, shit, you don't know who you are. You're not making the time to, calm down and slow down and see the world for what it really is. You're trying to move way too fast in life and try to keep up with people who you don't even know without taking the time to get to know yourself. Now there is a balance. You know, you have to have a balance of separating moving too fast and being lazy as hell. So know that there is balance. Know that you have to have a different level of of growth, right? Because what it leads to is on the downside, it leads to headaches, it leads to pain, it leads to we got the holidays coming up. You got some folks who are gonna be drinking their ass off and trying to wash their emotions away in alcohol, overeating, just food and drink and all that sugar that's on with that. You got people who can't sleep properly because there's so much insomnia. Their body is not resting. The mind is all over the place because they don't understand themselves. They haven't made the time for self-love, and they're not making time to understand what's necessary for them to continue to move forward. So if any of this shit hits home, man, it's not about I don't even know if I'm talking to anybody in particular, but if it hits home and you feel any of this, then what you got to do, man, is you got to be honest with yourself and say, all right, I see some of that in me, and I don't want to continue living like that. Now, what am I going to do? Well, the first thing is recognizing it, right? You got to recognize and say, hey, some of that shit ain't funny. And if it's not funny, then what's not funny about it? Because hit dog is gonna holler. So if it hurt a little bit and stung a little bit, what are we looking at? Do you need to take some time to back away because you're a little stressed? Is the body fatigued? Are you finding yourself very tired all the time? Where are some of the symptoms that you're seeing? Are you constantly finding yourself, throwing back a drink or two? Well, take a minute to figure out and say, hold on, wait a minute. What is this? This is me we're talking about. I don't want to be in this space. It's not a comfortable place to be in. Some folks just don't recognize this is what they're doing. But check your habits. Check what you do on a regular basis. Look at your day-to-day activities. You're home by yourself and nobody knows what you got going on, right? Are you having a cocktail for breakfast? That's part of a sign of depression because you're trying to numb yourself before the day even gets started. Yes, it is. Don't argue with that shit. Yes, it is. Yeah. Are you constantly having different headaches? Migraines and stress. And what is that's causing you so much stress? What is it you say that you got to do that you feel as if you're not getting accomplished? Put a list together, and this is what you got to do. Put a list together. Start with this. Put a list together of things that you want to accomplish. First thing you want to do when you wake up, drink your bottle of water, right? Second thing you want to do when you wake up, make your motherfucking bed up. Why? Because you're making a decision through the day that's going to carry you through it all. Go drop a load in the bathroom, man. Flush your system out. Shit, shower, shave, brush your teeth, comb your hair. Take the time to get that done first and foremost. And for those who are working from home, and sometimes you get up and you just get right to work. Self-love first, man. Take care of you. The job is going to still be there, right? The login is still going to be there. Your employee ID number is still going to be there. But you have to take care of you first. Take care of you first. Folks just choose not to do that shit. And I don't know why. You want to take care of somebody's company first rather than take care of yourself. I don't know if that's a slave mentality or just a lack of, personal confidence. You got to take care of you, right? When you used to go to work and you used to drive to work, you would make sure that you got up in time to do something to yourself, get prepared, and then go to work, right? You didn't just roll up out of bed and drive the fuck to the job and then start working. Then don't do it at home. Don't create that habit because you're falling into that rut of sliding your feet and dragging shit and putting shit in your coffee and trying to get fucked up for your day starts. Don't do that. Don't do that. Take care of your body, man. Take care of you. You are the only you got. And if you're not doing that, all this stuff that's coming around the holidays because that fucking routine that you're used to has changed. And that level of insomnia that you have because you can't sleep, your mind is, well, I always got something on my mind. You're not comfortable in self. Think about where you want to be, man. Write some shit down. Put some goals together. And if you're not disciplined enough to take pen to paper and write something down, seriously, that's a mental health shit. It really is, because you're telling yourself you're not making time to make yourself a better you. Well, I don't write stuff. I don't like the way my handwriting looks. Or, I do it. I don't need to do all that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Why is that? Because if it hasn't worked up until now, put enough love back into yourself to say, I'm willing to make the change, right? You have to do it. If you've constantly had your furniture sit in the same spot for years and years at a time, and you say you want to make a change, and all you do is move a plant from one side of the table to the next, you're not putting forth the effort. It doesn't happen that way. So you have to be okay with self to say, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to be willing to say, let me write this down and hold myself accountable. So I have Bible readers out there who say, well, I believe in the Bible, and the book of Habakkuk says, write the vision and make it plain, but you don't want to write shit down. Then come on, hold yourself on a different level, man, and be more accountable to what you need to do. You got to do it. You're adding more stress to yourself because you say you can do something and you're not getting it done. It's not fair to yourself. Tina says, take a long shower, put lotion on your body, even if you're going to be late. You have to have self-preservation, because if the job is still going to be there, the responsibilities are still going to be there, whether you get to that motherfucker at 8 o'clock, 8:05, or 8:10, or 7:55, it don't fucking matter. If the responsibility is still going to be there, it's the one who's performing the duty. The self-love has to come first, because that is the one who's performing the task at hand. I'm saying some real shit tonight, man, because I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to myself, and I'm talking to somebody else who needs to hear this for real. So share this video, man. Pass this link on to somebody else. Get down with some get down. Continue to follow your boy on multiple medium sites, because this is what we do, man. Each and every Tuesday, again, each and every Thursday, we're going to stifle the show this coming Thursday because of the Thanksgiving holiday. We're going to come right back again next Tuesday and go ahead and drop some good insight there. So we're talking about self-love for the holidays, man. How to stay and be thankful. If there's anybody out there that believes in the power of prayer or just self-reflection, right, or self-meditation, take some time to sit back and reflect and look at all the things that have led you up to the point to where you are now, right? Take some paper out, look at where you are right now, what you like and what you dislike, the pros and the cons. This is just self-love for the holidays. Your parents used to say, write a list for Santa Claus and get you something. Well, you're going to write something to yourself, and you're going to tell yourself what you like about you and what you don't like about you. You think this sounds corny, but it is so freaking necessary. Write what you like about yourself, and then write what you don't like about yourself. So this side might be longer than the other, but it is what's coming from you that's making the true difference, right? So now you have this outline in front of you, and You take the time from that list right there to set some goals. If anybody's working right now for a major company or corporation, this company that you work for has what they call a mission statement, right? Or they set goals for the fiscal year, the upcoming year, the current year that they have, right? So they look over year. We had this kind of company growth, and we had planned to do this, but we only got this far. So going into the next year, even if they're publicly traded, they have to tell you to their shareholders and stockholders, this is where we're at. This is where we look because of COVID. We had the expectation of being here. Things changed. We had to make some adjustments, and this is what we did. What we liked about the new year, what we didn't like about it, and now that we understand where we're at in this position, these are the things that we're going to do to move forward because we want these type of results. Your company does that. Some of you even work for a company who shares with you and tells you exactly what they're going to do, so you have an idea of their business plan. But you don't do that for yourself. Why? Sit back and tell yourself, all right, look, through my COVID, I was here back in March, or 2020 was my year and all this kind of stuff, and all the haters or whatever the case may be, I don't need to see y'all, whatever. Have some self-love. Get rid of all that and say, look, this is where I'm at. This is what I like about me. I like my hairstyle, or I like the way my body feels, or I like the way I look in this outfit. And these are the things that I don't like. I don't like my attitude. I don't like the fact that I'm snapping on people. I don't like the fact that I'm eating cookies and shit in bed. Whatever you got to say to yourself. So now that you see that right there in front of you, you have the ability now to hold yourself accountable and say, look, these are the things that I want to change. If you say that, hey, I want to lose weight and I want to lose, 35 pounds going into 2021, well, back the fuck up off that damn plate and quit eating all these goddamn casseroles and turkeys and shit and having cookies and cupcakes in the bed with you while you're watching television. That's not the best way to start. Let that go. Change your freaking behavior. I get it's Taco Tuesday, but you don't necessarily have to have tacos today. Right? Somebody has to receive this for where you really are. And I hope you're getting this information and getting some good game. If you say that I need to make some changes to my income and to my money, what does your resume look like? Right? The kind of job that you're shooting for, there's a website called salary.com. The kind of job that you envision, what does it pay? In the area that you live in, what is the median range that it pays based on that zip code? And if that's not where you want to be, or if it is the kind of money you want to make, well, what are they telling you that needs to happen based on that particular level of performance? What skills do you have to make that time and figure it out, man? This is the best time to say, I need to sit back and make some changes. I need to make myself be in a better position to where I need to be right now. And this is what I'm going to do. If I need to love on myself or before I can even welcome anybody into my world or anybody in to say that this is what I'm going to do in a relationship and what kind of, intimacy I want to be a part of, and get to know your motherfucking self, man. What does your body say? What does your body react to? How do you do things a certain way? Because if you're in your 40s, you ain't doing the same shit that you were doing in your teens. What is your body like now? What gets you off, man? What makes you, orgasm in a certain way that you couldn't do or you weren't doing back with maybe it was that partner, maybe there's energy. Listen, let's just keep it 100, man. You probably had somebody, and I have too, that probably blew your mind, with a certain way that they put it down for you. And when you got with somebody else, that person may have moved or carried themselves in a different way, or in the same way actually, and it didn't have the same effect. Right? Maybe your body isn't receiving it from that particular person, or maybe they just don't put it down to you the same way that the other person did. Well, if you're quarantining, and you're operating, in this way of self-love and not really getting out during the COVID-19, what the fuck is your body saying? What does your body say you got to do, right? Eating all these fucking, greasy ass shiny foods and shit weighs in on your body, man, and you probably aren't, fellas, operating like you thought you could at one point in time, like you used to. Ladies, you can't, maneuver and do certain things because all that shit that you're eating has to come out some kind of way. And the foulest stench could be in the air. The funk of 40,000 years could be handled or being protruded out some certain pores that just isn't pleasing to your partner. So come to the realization of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and who we're doing this for is us. We got to start with some self-love, man. We have to start with self-love going into the holiday season before you can embrace anything new, and put that tree up or hang those ornaments up or be around the festive family members as the couple days approach. Do something for you. Put a plan in action for yourself. Take care of who you are, because that energy that you want to be around and all excited and stuff, that shit is going to be a mask greater than anything you could have worn for Halloween if you don't take the time to recognize who you are. And I'm encouraging somebody right now to get this thing, embrace it, not only for yourself, but for somebody else who may need to hear this. Like, I recognize that shit. And is he talking about me? Could be. Not directly, but somewhat, because shit, I'm talking to the symptom, right? Not the pronoun, but the symptom. It's happening. So no need to call anybody out by name. I don't even know what this is that needs to hear this, but somebody out there is receiving this information tonight and is getting some good game. So I appreciate that you all are making time for this. And always, folks, be sure that you hold yourself accountable, get some self-love, get some self-help. If you need some therapy, contact someone, find out who that might be. And if you need to talk to your boy, man, this is your life coach. If I need to holler at you and we can, wrap some things up and I help you point you in the right direction, I'm definitely going to do that, because this is time to really recognize some change. The season is changing, the weather is changing, our behavior is changing, so we must be able to change and adapt as well. So definitely want to thank you for making time to be on this platform tonight. Thanks to all who are a part of the growth of the Online Happy Hour. As you know, you make the show what it is. So not going to be here on Thursday, as I mentioned before, but I will be here next Tuesday to drop some good insight and some good game up on here. So you never know who's going to pop in on with your boy next week. It might be you, might be somebody else. It might be a celebrity. You just never know. That's just how we do it around here. So I want to say thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful, and exciting holiday season. Thanksgiving is going to be first on deck. Have the food and enjoy what you want to enjoy. Minimize the overindulgence. You don't have to necessarily have the big, greasy, shiny foods at all times, but if that's what you need and that's what you look forward to, please eat and drink in moderation. So, on behalf of my family, I want to say good night to my people. Go mob to my frat, and I'm gone. It's your main man, Andy Brown, giving it to you live with some good game right here on the Online Happy Hour. So long. Happy Thanksgiving, and have a wonderful, wonderful worship. Peace out, folks. Happy hour.